Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? Can you define for us, from your perspective, exactly what self-narrative is, and if it's actually like something practical and tangible that you can hold on to, or if it's just this illusion of an idea of what we think we are?
I think it's both simultaneously, and I think it's important.
Okay.
I think that's one of the sort of profound things about it is that, like, so on the one hand, it is literally a narrative, it's a story, and the brain works like an editor, like a film editor in a lot of ways to piece together all of the experiences and ideas and people and to select them and to put them together into a story that makes sense. Now, anytime you're editing, there's a bias involved. You're presenting things in a certain way, and the audience is going to have a particular reaction to it. And any edited piece of work, even if it has an element of truth to it, if the experiences that happen to you are real, the explanations make sense, it's still got some bias to it. And when it's yourself, that's the thing you're the most biased about anything in the world,
True.
right? And your brain is editing this story about yourself from that perspective. So it is going to be a biased story, and you have to know that that's what it is. And so, in that sense, it is an illusion in the sense that it isn't. It is an explanation that the brain comes up with for what you're doing. It isn't some fact of the a world that exists outside of your brain. So in that sense, it's an illusion, but it certainly can have elements of reality. I mean, it really is very much like film editing. I actually have a colleague at USC who's a filmmaker, and she is a film editor, and we have worked together for many years. And what we found is that there's so many similar things in terms of what the brain does in putting the self together and what filmmakers do in the editing room that we started our own podcast to explore this very issue. And we talked to filmmakers and neuroscientists called Float if people are interested. But the thing that came out of that is just, one of the things that came out of it is just how similar this process that the brain does when it's creating stories to what filmmakers do in the editing room. And you just got to know the brain's leaving a lot on the editing room floor, and it's not trying to tell the most unbiased documentary. It's trying to make a hit movie for you.
Why why would it not just give you as is, here is the answer, here's the solution, this is your life, this is reality? Why would it not just lay it all out flat? Because like when I watch film, the one thing that I love, and I love film, is there's always this space for interpretation. Right. I just went and saw the new film from Jordan Peele, Nope. And as I'm
Mm.
sitting there watching this with my friends, we're all having this crazy different experience, which holds true in life. We're all having this crazy different experience. But if the foundation of the brain is within this survival mechanism, why would it not just give you all the data that you need at all times instead of leaving those gaps?
Yeah, because it can't represent all of the information, and there's so much experience and there's so much memory. Number one, we don't remember everything that happens to us, and so there's got to be a selection process. There's a selection process in our attention. We have so much perceptual information coming in at every moment that we have to decide which things are worth processing further, and that's where our attention comes in. That attention process is guided by our current goals, and we are always making selections in what we actually burn into our memories. And then when we have those memories, we just can't rehearse them all and keep them all alive. And so there just has to be some selection process. And because there's a selection process, basically a form of information compression is what a story is. You're compressing all of the experience and information to something that's simpler and easier to store. And because we're doing that, and because it's about us, and because it's biased, it's just never going to be just a complete history of all the stuff that happened. If you find yourself cheating on a test, you've got to decide, is it because I'm an asshole, or is it because, I was pressured into this situation by other people? It's one of those interpretations. You don't want to feel like an asshole. So you're more likely to go with the interpretation that you were pressured into it by other people, and the sort of, the bias unfolds from there.